Maya, that best friend I had known for nearly a decade. You know the person you hit yesterday? We did everything we could, but they didn't make it. My mother looked as if she'd been struck by lightning, staring at me in disbelief. Chloe, you hit someone? Is that why you had a breakdown last night? I shook my head frantically about to explain, but Jason had already pulled out his phone to make a call. Hello, police. I want to report a crime. I've found the driver from last night's Hitandron on Hutchinson Road. That's right. She's right here with me now. He hung up and glared at me with malice. Chloe, even if you are my fiancée, you have to face the consequences for your actions. I was shocked and furious, shaking my head over and over. Impossible. I didn't even drive last night. How could I have hit someone? Do you have any proof? Maya sneered at me. Didn't you burn all the proof last night? Once again, I was taken back to the police station. An officer looked at me with a grave expression and laid out several photos from the accident scene. Chloe Walker, last night you were driving under the influence, hit a car carrying a family of 3, and fled the scene. All 3 occupants have perished. The medical examiner confirmed that aside from the child, the other 2 could have been saved. If you had just called for help, they might have survived, but you left them on the side of the road and let them lose their lives. A collective gasp went through the room. My mother nearly fainted, crying and repeatedly asking me what had happened. Jason stepped forward and pulled my mother aside. Mrs. Walker, didn't you hear? Chloe was out partying last night, got wasted, and still decided to drive. She killed people and then ran away. I warned her so many times not to go to those places, but she never listens. Now she's in this terrible mess, and it's all her own fault. In an instant, he painted me as a reckless, cold-blooded monster devoid of humanity. The way everyone looked at me, it was as if they were seeing a murderer. I shook my head desperately, praying someone would believe me. I didn't. I wasn't at a bar last night, and I certainly wasn't driving. Where's the proof for all these things you're accusing me of? Where is it? Maya's sharp voice cut in again. You burned it all last night. Understanding dawned on everyone's faces as they looked at me. No wonder she acted like a maniac and burned down her mansion. She was destroying evidence. She went that far just to get away with it. People like her deserve to be punished. Police, arrest her now. These accusations, this condemnation, it was all so familiar. It was the exact same scene, the exact same charge, from my past life, descending upon me once more. Panic began to set in. Jason looked at me with disgust. That mansion was your engagement gift to me. It was supposed to be our future home, and you burned it all down just to cover up your crime. You're lying. Jason Carter, you were the one who hit them. I screamed. 2 officers immediately pushed me back down into the chair. I'll ask you one more time. What was the real reason you burned down your mansion last night? The officer demanded. You said you were mentally unstable, but your mother claimed you were just having an emotional breakdown. Which one is the truth? I furrowed my brow and gave a completely different answer. I burned the mansion to prove my innocence. The officers exchanged strange looks. Then, they produced an evidence bag containing a lipstick and a bracelet. Chloe, these were found at the accident scene. They're your belongings. We also recovered traces of your DNA. This is all evidence from the crash. The evidence was identical to my past life. Soon, they would claim that only my fingerprints were found in the car at my mansion. Then they'd find clothes with incriminating marks and a destroyed dashcam. All the evidence would point perfectly to me, but now, the mansion and the garage had been reduced to ashes. This time, would history really repeat itself? I forced myself to calm down, my mind racing to find a way to refute them. I looked up at the officer. Did the surveillance cameras at the scene capture me in person? Still trying to talk your way out of this? The male officer said, impatiently pulling up the footage. Your car's tinted windows blocked the view, so we couldn't see your face. But this red Ferrari is registered in your name. Even if you destroyed the car, we would still. I stared intently at the timestamp on the footage, and suddenly cut him off with a sharp cry. Stop! I had found the key to proving my innocence.